Hi friends! Welcome to today's Pick a Card Tarot reading. Today we are going to be asking some messages from the trees. So this is going to be asking the tree spirits to give us some guided information, some messages, and we'll see what the trees want to tell you. So I'm pretty excited about this. I've got 4 pieces of driftwood here for the 4 piles that we have to choose from today. So the piles for you to choose from are pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. Once again, we have pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. If you go down to the description section of this video right now, you will find your corresponding pile. And yeah, I'll meet you in your reading. So, see you there. Hi there, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be, what are your messages from the trees? What do the trees want to tell you right now? What are the tree spirits here to give you guided information on? So you chose this piece of driftwood here, which we will just put up at the top there. And, you know, I'm not entirely sure what type of wood this is. As you know, it's been in the ocean, so it's now just a nice piece of driftwood. I live in the Pacific Northwest, and we have some of the most incredible driftwood anywhere that I've ever seen along the Puget Sound. So it's very beautiful. If you ever get a chance, this part of the world's very beautiful. So first up, we have a card from the Fairytale Lenormand. So the trees, let's see what they're saying. You've got the lady here with the very Cinderella fairy tale vibes. So whenever this comes in, there's a couple things. First up, I think the biggest thing is just seeing all the birds that are around her, you know, to me really connects into, I tend to connect it into angel spirits and angel symbolism with birds, but it can be more than that. It's spirits in general, the spirit guides. And so with the spirits of the trees here with you as well, I feel like they're trying to let you know that they're here right now, connecting with us as we do this reading. And remember, if you're ever working with spirits, just make sure you're connecting yourself to the benevolent ones, you know, and you can help us clear your energy field anytime you connect with spirits, and really make sure that you're not connecting to anything else besides benevolence. And a good way to do that is to just help raise your vibration in general. Working with certain entities like angels, for instance, can really help. You know, you can ask the angels to help clear your energy field and help raise your vibration first, and then you'll be a little bit more connected with potentially benevolent spirits. Not that, you know, it's nothing to be afraid of connecting with not benevolent spirits either. Just as somebody who's been, I'm a very sensitive person myself when it comes to certain things, you know, psychically sensitive, if you want to call it that, but just like in general, my energy is very sensitive. And so because of that, I'm able to pick up on a lot of things. I have connected to some not so benevolent spirits before, and, you know, it's a slow moving, not pleasant experience, right? It's just like it moves you into the realms of depression. It moves you into the realms of you know, sadness and not feeling great, you know? And so it's like, it's not necessarily that they're gonna, you know, evil spirits are going to control you and take you over and blah, 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 you know, like, no, that's not what I'm talking about here. It's not like Hollywood. It's more like, oh, I've got a lot of like sad stuff in my life now, and now for whatever reason I'm depressed, you know what I mean? So that's where it comes from. It's sort of like, you know, you can call on, like, for instance, I'm just going to do it right now. I invite the Archangel Michael into my vibration, into my life, into where I am right now, and I just ask that we be cleared, that my energy field be help clear of any influence, any entity, anything that isn't for my highest good. And I invite any entity or spirit or being who is existing in the non-physical around me. I encourage you to please find another place that you are, you can be safe and you can be loved. and that you return to the light if that is what you so choose. But I ask that my energy field around me be cleared and open. So another way you can help clear your own energy field as well, which I guess the trees kind of want to talk about spirits and how to connect in right now. I think that's kind of what this reading is turning into. So another way we can do this, and I'm just going to do this here, is I have some Palo Santo. Palo Santo can be really great. You can use Palo Santo, you can use sage. It's important to get this kind of stuff ethically sourced if you can. I did buy this on Amazon, I'm not going to lie to you. However, I did check out as many retailers as I could, and I happened to find one that was connected to a farm in South America that is selling this, and I liked from their website who they were and what they're doing. So just do your research before you get these kinds of materials, because it's important to make sure it's ethically sourced. But anyway, if you do have something like Palo Santo here, or you've got sage, even just incense, that can be a really great way to clear your energy field, clear the energy of around, and just say, I'm going to open myself up to the light right now. I'm clearing out any negativity. I'm clearing out any energies that do not mean me well. And I invite only into my space and into my being and into this day with me the spirits who are here for my highest good, for my own benevolence, those who are here to help humanity move forward, those who do not wish to control or to manipulate, but those who understand and wish to maintain the balance of free will that we also have on this planet. So anyway, now that we've done that, we're a little bit more clear on the kinds of forest spirits we want to connect with here. If we're connecting to nature elementals in general, they can be really helpful and really wonderful and very kind, especially with trees. If you ever want to work with trees directly, I definitely recommend it. Go out and sit with trees. It can be really wonderful. A lot of times, you can connect in your own energy field to the energy field of the tree itself and be in kind of a connection with that tree specifically. I've read online and in different sources that they encourage you to work with trees that are comfortable and familiar with people and have been around people. So like go to a park and find a big tree in a park, or find a tree that's growing in front of your house or in front of somebody's house. You can go deep into the forest and try to work with the trees that way as well. You'll be more in tune with the nature. However, they're going to be a little bit less familiar with people and a little bit less familiar with working with people, for instance. So that's just if you want to work with tree spirits in general. But we are trying to connect to the tree spirits here today. So one of the first messages is that they are also connecting with you. You've got the nature elementals that are here to speak with you today as well, and help you raise up your vibration, right? So I think that that's exactly what we've been talking about with this Cinderella card. If you look, she's like kind of depressed and kind of like disheveled, right? So to me, that's saying, be careful about who it is you're letting into contact with. That's all. Remember that at the end of the day, you have free will, and you are the one with the body. You are the one with the autonomous sense of moving through the physical. So there is never going to be an entity, even if they convince you otherwise, an entity can never take you control unless you allow them access to you, right? So you have, at the end of the day, the ability to remove any entity or being or non-physical spirit that exists in your space. You can push them away, but you can also, you can just invite them to leave, and they have to, it's a matter of that. And you can clear out your energy space anytime you want, because you have the free will to do so. So anyway, next card we have from the Wild Unknown is the Three of Hearts. Okay, or Three of Swords rather, which is like normally depicted as a three swords going through a heart. It's like the heartbreak card. So the trees are here for comfort today. They want to talk to you about sort of this sort of emotional pain, right? Heartbreak, being in a situation that doesn't feel pleasant to you, and they want to remind you that if you're ever in a situation where you're not feeling good, or you're feeling like it's been such a hard and difficult time for you, they want to remind you that nature can be there to help heal you, especially being in trees, being in a forest, can be incredibly beneficial to you. And so the trees want to remind you that you can go out and visit them anytime you're feeling upset, you're feeling this pain, right? You're feeling distraught, and they're going to be there to help you, you know? They'll be there to comfort you. The comforting nature of being beside a tree, you know, can honestly be very wonderful. And so, you know, they want to talk to you today about that idea, you know, that if you're ever in a situation where you feel really downcast, where you feel like nothing's going your way, where you feel like you know, you're in this heartbreak moment, you know, they're really encouraging you to go out and find a tree to hang out with, you know. And I know that sounds really silly, right? You know, especially if you're feeling lonely. If you feel lonely, like, trees can be some of the best entities to chill out with, because like a tree can't move, right? It's just gonna be there. And if you know, if you love on a tree, the tree's gonna love on you back, like always. So like, find the biggest tree you can find and go sit at the base of it for some time, and just like, you know, be at peace. You know, maybe bring some music and listen to music, or like bring a book and read at the base of a tree, or any of that kind of stuff. Like, that can really help lessen some of this emotional pain you might be in. And nature in general is so great for that. It's so great for grounding. It's so great for coming back into yourself. If you ever feel stuck or in a situation where you don't really know how to move forward, seriously, I can't recommend nature enough. Going out and being in it. I've got 3 cards from the 1JJ Swiss deck. Normally I just pull 1, but 3 wanted to come out for you, so we'll see what we got. First up we have is the 6 of Pentacles. Oh, sorry, I just banged my camera and everything got jostled. That was crazy. Anyway, like I was saying, you've got the 6 of Pentacles here. So with the 6 of Pentacles, this talks about giving back or asking for help, right? And I think in your situation, it is kind of referring to this help, right? It's just showing, you know, in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it's depicted as a man who is like giving back to people, and he's got a scale. So it can talk about finding a balance in your life of giving and receiving, and yeah, giving and receiving, and being in a balance of those two things. And then it can also talk about, like, if you're ever in a bind, right, you can always ask for help. And I think that that's further cementing the message that's been coming from the tree spirits here, saying, you know, even when you feel like you have no person you can go to, or you have no one you can go to, right? And you always do, you know, there's always somebody you can ask for help with. But even in the situation where if you feel like you just can't go to anybody, you know, the trees are saying, like, you can come to us, right? Go find a tree that's in private and start talking to it. You know, that might sound ridiculous to you, but honestly, that's kind of what they're talking about right now. It's like, you know, even in those days where you just feel so lost and alone, you know, and you might just be feeling so heartbroken, and you just need somebody to talk to. You just want to talk out what's going on. And if you feel like you don't have somebody to do that kind of talking things out with, the trees are like, you know what? You got us, you know, remember that. You can come find a tree and talk things out. You know, which sounds kind of, yeah, it sounds funny, but it's so true though. You know, if you're ever feeling that, like, go find a great tree. They're here for you. Next up, you have the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, cool. So that talks about hard work, right? It's encouraging you to put in work towards healing yourself. That you have the ability to work hard to change your circumstances. And, you know, maybe you've been working hard at trying to make something happen. And, you know, like, you're just being encouraged in this message to work hard on yourself, you know, that if you're willing to put in the work to really heal, that you're going to be rewarded for that. If you're looking for healing, you know, if you're ever in a situation that you're feeling heartbroken in, you know, you've got spirits and guides and a team to reach out to always. And that can include the tree spirits, you know, that they're available for counsel as much as any other spiritual being, and they're inviting you to maybe ask them for help sometimes. Next card we have is the blank card. Oh wow, I've never actually pulled the blank card here, so that's really cool. This card to me it just talks about like, honestly, so I tend to read symbols in my environment a lot, and a lot of times I get messages and things from billboards. And so for a long time, I was reading all of the bus billboards, and so whenever a bus billboard would come in, it would give me some kind of message from my guides or from, from beyond, from spirit, and help me move through whatever it is I was thinking about or trying to move through. And then at a certain point, I was starting to see all of these blank ads, right? It's a spot on the bus where the ads were, but there was just no ad. And so for me, what that started to mean was that, oh, I need to start doing some meditation, right? It's like I need to come back into nothing, like clear my mind, clear my headspace, do some deep breathing, and really try to let go of whatever thoughts were going on in my head at that time, and just let it all go and come back into center, come back into a sense of blank, you know what I mean? Making my mind a blank canvas. So for me, that's kind of what this is relating to in that situation, is sort of like, the trees can be really great for helping you ground yourself. Meditating at the base of a tree could really help you come into a sense of clarity within yourself. So really, I do feel like you're being encouraged to go into nature right now and to do some meditation in nature, like take some time and do some deep breathing at the base of a tree and spend like an hour there, and turn off your phone, right? Maybe don't listen to music in this situation. Try not to have anything going on in your mind, and just like breathe and be present in that moment. And you might be surprised at what comes to you in that moment of clarity, for helping you move through whatever's going on in your life. Next up, we have from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it's the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, so there's actually a lot of Pentacles energy in here, so I really do think that you're moving into something new here. You're moving into a new phase of being, and maybe, you felt heartbroken in the past, but as you let this go, as you come back into your center, and just allow everything to go, that you're not super tuned into everything, you're just allowing things to be, right? You're going to be starting this new beginning towards abundance, material abundance, a new place to live, potentially a new job, a new way of being in the world that allows you to be more comfortable in the world, in the material and the physical, that you have that coming to you. And it's going to come with some work here, maybe you've already been putting in a lot of work to change your circumstances, or maybe you're being encouraged to do some more work to really fully change your circumstances. But regardless, you're in this new beginning now. You have this new beginning being offered to you, towards material abundance, which is absolutely beautiful. So be open to that, and the tree spirits are saying, go for it, like if you ever need a helping hand, go out into nature and just, you always have trees to talk to. Which, like I said, sounds pretty silly and maybe a little bit lonely, but actually, I think trees are pretty great personally. That's why I'm even doing this reading to begin with. So yeah, talk to them, check them out. They're out there for you. It's just another resource. And there's so many resources available to you, and especially on the non-physical, there are many spirits and many guides. The trees are just part of the nature elementals, so they've got this deep connection with the earth itself, with Mother Earth, and in the moment that we're in with climate change and with all of the difficult things going on, I mean, think about, we're having these incredible, huge forest fires in California right now, and it's very sad because some of the oldest redwoods that exist have now burned, and we don't know exactly what that forest is going to look like now. Although I will say that there is a certain resilience to forests, and that when they burn, they do grow back. But with connecting in with the tree spirits here, they're really saying that, the more that we connect in with nature, the more that we can be more at harmony with it. And then we can start working towards building this new future where we are protecting the material, we're protecting the trees as much as they're protecting us, and it is that exchange, it is that give and take with the Six of Pentacles here. It's like that's kind of what our relationship with the trees can be if we want it to be, it's like the trees help provide us oxygen, and a forest provides us shelter and cover and calm, going out and being in nature You know, there's that thing called forest bathing that's a big thing right now, but it's such a real thing. Just going out and being in that forest is so calming and healing for us as individuals, as souls. And so, you know, I think you're being encouraged to do a little bit of that work and see how that work can help you as a person, you know, and maybe that'll help change your whole world around by starting to do these kinds of things. So yeah, anyway, that was the cards. I've got one card left from the Shamanic Healing Oracle, which I'm going to read directly from the book. You've got Joy here, because I just feel like having somebody else's words can really help you out too. So you got somebody else's perspective besides just my own. We are created in joy. The balance of energy and higher vibrations brings us closer to divine love, pure joy. So that kind of ties back into what I was talking about at the beginning. It's like working on your vibration to connect with these beings of benevolence. Joy can be a destination, but it can also be the vehicle that you use to get to that destination. Faith, grace, gratitude, and love all merge together at different times in different amounts to create joy. There is love, growth, tears, change, and self-realization in this card. This card portends a happy and joyous time. All right, that's beautiful and a beautiful way to end it. So yeah, you know, you can be this kind of nature can help you connect in with this happiness. You know, it's always there for you to connect into your own inner light and inner guidance and your own inner happiness. So do some forest bathing. I think that'll really help you. Find a place to walk in the woods if you can. And if you can't, you know, just find a tree somewhere. You know, unless you're in a desert or something like that and there's no real trees around. If you're in the desert, then, I don't know, find a cactus, right? Find something, you know, connect in with the plants, you know, those nature energy, the nature elementals. There's plenty of nature elementals existing in the desert as well. So that's just a different kind of a place. I've only ever really spent a lot of time in forests personally, so I don't know too much about the desert environment. So if you are in the desert, maybe leave something in the comments for helping out those who are. Anyway, pile number 1, that was my reading for you. I really hope that it resonates. Please let me know in the comments either way. I love hearing from all of you. If you ever want a private reading from me, I have them available on my website at www.junodrome.com. Feel free to check that out. And I've got a Patreon page that you can help support me further. That's at patreon.com/junodrome. I got some really great bonus content on there, so check that out. And then finally, I'm really excited to announce that I've still got a little bit of a ways away, but it's growing all the time. Once my channel reaches 500 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a free private reading from my channel. So I'm really excited to announce that. There's going to be a drawing for that once I reach 500, so stay tuned for that. Please subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. And we'll get there even faster for all of us. So anyway, thank you so much, pile number 1. I hope you have an incredible day, and I will see you soon. Hey, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. This is the reading for what do the trees want to tell you? What are the tree spirits here to guide you and give you information? So you've got this piece of driftwood. You chose pile number 2 with this nice little piece of driftwood here. So let us ask the cards what the tree spirits want to talk to you about today. We're leaving it pretty open and pretty general, so who knows what'll come out, and we'll find out together. First up, we have from the Fairytale Lenormand, we've got the anchor. All right. So the anchor to me always talks about grounding your energy, and a tree is kind of a great symbol for that as well. So with this, the trees are talking about, you know, using their example to root yourself into the ground and come back into your own sense of center and your own sense of self. So what do I mean by grounding? Grounding is a way of coming back into your body. So a lot of times we can get really stuck in our heads and in our minds. And when that's happening, things start to pick up, the pace starts to pick up, we start moving really fast. We've got this anxiety energy sometimes, and we're just like, go, oh my God, blah, 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 right? So grounding your energy is like dialing it back from that, bringing everything back, letting that energy go and coming back into yourself. So a great way to ground is through meditation. That's one way to do it. I have a grounding meditation available on my channel, so you could check that out if you'd like. But beyond that, it's like coming back into your breathing, focusing on your breathing in and out. We'll do some together a little bit. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. So as you start to do that breathing, you're already slowing yourself down. And then once you're doing that, you can start to imagine your own energy penetrating deep into the ground. So it's like going down and down and down into the ground, and you can connect down into the center of the earth itself. And by doing that, you are moving your own energy into the earth and slowing yourself down, tuning into the forces of the earth. And then you can bring those forces back up into your own body. And that kind of thing helps clear your energy. It helps move you into a sense of peace and a sense of calm. And then you can move from that calm as you move forward. So you're not, it's letting go of anything hectic, letting go of this hectic energy, letting go of feeling like you have to go, letting go of the feeling that you have to make decisions very quickly. And it's just coming back into a sense of self and a sense of center. And a tree, like I was saying, is the perfect example of that, because the tree grows up into the sky very high, but it's also growing deep, deep, deep into the earth at the same time. So it's going down as it's also going up. And it's that combination of the two things that really help out that tree, you know? The tree can't grow tall if it doesn't also grow deep into the earth. Next up, we have 2 cards from the Wild Unknown. First up is the Chariot. Yeah, so there's more of that sort of speed coming in with this too, you know, in alignment, aligning with yourself with this one, because we've got the sun, we've got a moon on the forehead, and we've got the pentacle on its neck. So it's sort of like the stars are aligning here in order to create a balanced human being. So the trees are really coming in to tell you you can come to them if you need help aligning yourself, you know, like go sit at the base of a tree for alignment, you know, and start breathing and focusing on the energy of the tree and saying, okay, tree, help me align myself. You know, I'd like to align to your energy and then really align and attune myself as well. And you know, doing so, you'd be surprised. You'll start to feel more centered. You'll start to feel more grounded. You'll start to feel clearer. You know, your mind will be clearer. Your energy will feel clearer. You'll feel lighter, you know. You can help let go of anything really heavy by tuning into this force of spirit, you know, and just like super in tune and connected to that, you know, and aligning yourself with that, you know, with this alignment. And then the Chariot can talk about some swift moving action as well sometimes. So it's like, you know, things are moving quickly, or they're moving forward, you know. So by doing this, by practicing grounding, you might feel like if you were stuck before, you know, you might start to feel unstuck by doing this, because then you'll start to understand things a little bit more clearer. You'll start to get a better picture of what's happening actually in your life and in your situation, and you'll be able to move yourself forward in a way that's more comfortable for you, or fits with you in your life a little bit more than you thought you had present with you without doing this. Next up, we have the 2 of Wands. All right, so yeah, so that's more of that forward moving energy. It's like planning for your future now. It's you know, in many decks it's depicted as a man who's holding the world in his hands, and he's imagining the future. He's about to go off and journey into the world. He's going to journey forward. So by grounding your energy, by really coming back into yourself, by rooting yourself into the ground, you'll be able to grow up too, right? You'll be able to plan your next moves easier. You know, you'll be able to align yourself with your higher self, so that the actions and movements coming to you in the future will be more aligned and attuned to what you actually want for yourself. You know, you'll be able to follow your passions. You'll be able to follow your dreams easier. And maybe even traveling is in your future, you know? I know we're in kind of a difficult period for travel with COVID-19 and all of that, but who knows, you know, maybe traveling is going to be a big part for you moving forward. And so you're kind of encouraged to tune into that energy. Next up, we have from the 1JJ Swiss deck, We've got the King of Wands. Okay, yeah, so really, really tuning into your passions and your drives is coming up for you. You know, you have that ability for yourself. You know, you can make anything you want in life happen for you. That's the biggest takeaway from this card, is sort of like, you know, whatever you want to make happen in this life, whatever you want to go out and make and do and bring for yourself, you have the power and the ability to do that. And it might take grounding yourself first. It might take planning. It might take, you know, understanding who you are and what you want fully before you can go off and make this sort of thing happen. But once you do this, once you align yourself with your higher self, once you figure out who you are and what you want, nothing's going to be able to stop you from achieving that, you know, because you're going to be so aligned with yourself and with your passions and with your drives and with what you want to make happen in life, that you're going to be able to go out and make it happen. You're going to be able to go out and charge forward and do it. And you're really being encouraged to tune into that energy, that you have the ability to do this. You know, you have the ability to achieve your dreams. You have the ability to go out and make anything happen. And like I said, grounding yourself first is going to help attune you to that higher self. It's going to help attune you to the larger you know, the you that you imagine the most, the you that you want for yourself more than anything. And by attuning yourself to that, then you'll be able to know, like, okay, this is my goal. This is what I want to make happen. This is where I want to be. Now I know that. So then I can act in life from a position, from a place of knowing what that is, you know? And so then all of my choices and decisions moving forward can be based on, well, this is where I'm going, you know? This is where I'm going. So does this align with that or not, you know, with that alignment? Is this aligned with where I want to go or not? And if not, I can let it go. And if it does, then great, I'm going to follow it, you know? You have the tools and the power to do that. Next up, we have from the, the classic Rider-Waite-Smith deck, we've got the Three of Cups. Okay, so then there's some celebration involved in that too. You know, once you figure that out, you know, you're going to celebrate. You know, you're celebrating the fact that you figured out what you want for yourself and you know how to get it and you're moving towards it and nothing can stop you. And the more that you move towards it too, you're going to align yourself with the people who resonate with that too. So it's like, you know, like I was saying, you know, of letting go some things that aren't working, you know, you can let go of people and situations and places that don't fit with what you want for yourself. And by doing that, you'll start to attract the people that do fit with what you want for yourself and who are on the same page and who also want that for themselves, you know, or want something similar. And so then you're going to be totally attuned and aligned with groups of people who fit who you are and what you want and where you feel and what you're aligned with, you know. And so then, you know, you won't be feeling as difficult. You won't be feeling some difficulties in relationships that you may have been feeling before that, because you're only going to be aligning yourself with people that fit with who you want to be and where you want to go and what you want to do, you know, and that it's okay to seek out relationships and people and situations who are connected to that, you know, and you can let go of any of those same situations or people or things or whatever that aren't, and that it's okay to do that. It's okay to let go of people. It's okay to let go of situations. It's okay to let go of things that are no longer working for you. So you're really kind of being encouraged to do this kind of work for yourself. Anyway, finally, I have two cards from the Shamanic Healing Oracle. I'm going to read them both from the book so you get some further answers. The first one is perception. So let's read that. I think it's nice for you to have some other words besides me to just get some further insight into the reading, into what's going on in your life. With energy, sometimes a slight shift in perception is all that's needed. Remember, nature strives to retain balance. So we're getting back into the tree spirits here, you know, with nature. Nature is on your side here. Nature's helping you, trying to teach you the balance of nature, right? That the tree spirits are trying to help you, teach you this balance that's present for you. It is only our perception and labels that cause us to think otherwise. Is there a situation in your life that you are viewing from a very rigid perspective? Are you certain that you are at the center of all the drama around you? So that's another thing about letting go of certain people and situations. Perhaps cultivating the ability to step outside of the drama and see the issue from every different viewpoint will shift your judgment of this person or situation from intolerable to simply it is. And as it is, it won't remain so for long. Letting go of the tether that holds you to a certain viewpoint also frees the situation up to go the natural way to get back into balance. Yeah, so there you go, you know? You have the ability to get back into this balance for yourself. Next up from the Shamanic Healing Oracle, you have Psychic Development. Oh, cool. That's awesome. The energy and healing work you are doing now will enable you to heighten your sensitivity to the energy around you and others. Check out pile number 1 too, because that talks all about connecting into nature elementals, and I talk about that psychic kind of thing of how to discern between entities and all of that, which I think is really important. And if you're feeling this psychic development stuff, I really, really would recommend pile number 1 for you. Discernment is the feeling you get in your body that signals to you whether something feels right or wrong, your sixth sense, your gut feeling. The situation you are inquiring about is asking you to use your discernment. You do not want to take on others' energy, yet you do not want to close yourself off out of fear. Envision energy flowing through you like water. Take on too much and you can sink. Closing yourself off offers a very different energetic experience. When you let the water energy flow as it will, and neither embrace it or fight it, you are truly in the flow. Remaining at this elevated energetic vibration will allow you to tap into the realms of the psyche. Alternatively, this card can signify a pull to take classes, workshops, or read books about psychic development. So yeah, anyway, I hope that this reading resonated for you. That's where I'm going to leave it off. If you want a more detailed personal reading, I can get super in detail about you and your life and your situation. You can check out my website, www.junodrome.com, for my options. And then I'm starting a Patreon page for you to help support me more. And it's a great way to get some really awesome, incredible bonus content you can't get anywhere else. That's available at patreon.com/junodrome. And then finally, I'm super excited to announce that we're a little bit of a ways away, but it's growing every day. When my channel reaches 500 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a giveaway for a free private reading from my channel. So please subscribe to the channel and get your friends to do it too, and we'll all get there a little bit closer. And then I'll talk about it more once it's here. This drawing, that process, and how we'll make that work. So anyway, pile number 2, that was my reading for you. I hope that it resonates. I hope that you have an incredible day, and I will see you later. Bye. Hi there, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is your reading for messages from these tree spirits. What do the trees want to tell you? What is the communication coming from the trees today? So I got all these driftwood pieces. You chose the pile with this driftwood piece here. I don't know if I said it in the description or one of the piles, but I live in the Pacific Northwest, and in Puget Sound, we have some of the most incredible beaches with really wonderful, beautiful driftwood everywhere. It's a very beautiful, healing place here, especially along the water. So I really recommend, if you ever get a chance to visit, like, this is a very beautiful place in the world. I'm happy to live here. So anyway, let's tune in and see what's going on. First up, we've got from the Fairytale Lenormand. We've got a card here. We got the key. Okay, so the tree spirits are trying to help you unlock yourself, right? Unlock your connection to the other realms. Unlock your connection, unlock the door between you and the other realms, the veil, lifting the veil for you. You're at this gateway, right? You're in a gateway, moving into a new phase of being, moving into a new way of perceiving the world and reality. And the trees are here to help you with that, because we got a couple of little faces in this gateway. They look like vines and stuff. So, this super nature elementals here present in this world, here to help you, And, you know, be careful about connecting with spirits and entities and stuff if you want a detailed understanding of that, you know, of like how to discern between spiritual entities and stuff. But please check out pile number 1, because that's all about that. I don't want to get too far into detail about that here. So you can check out pile number 1 to get all of that information. But anyway, I do feel this portal, this gateway, right? It's this connection to another realm, you know, another world. And it being the tree spirits here that we're talking to, I think it's really about, you know, tuning into the trees, connecting in with what they want to say, you know, that they're here to talk to you today. And so let's see what they want to say. We've got the Wild Unknown Tarot. I've got 1 card from that. And we've got the 5 of Swords. Okay, interesting. So the 5 of Swords can talk about, you know, being surrounded by some people or some energy or even some thought patterns that might be a little bit deceitful. Sometimes it can talk about that sort of deceit. And it's nothing to be too worried about here, but I feel like, you know, with it being this gateway and this portal into something new, into something different, I think in order to reach this, you got to just start looking in your life and say like, okay, well, what is this energy that's around me right now, right? And if this is like talking about, you know, connecting into other realms, right? A lot of that can come from, you know, you got to let go of certain energies and entities and feelings that are surrounding you that may not be the best for you, you know? So really, honestly, I'm feeling super, check out pile number 1, honestly, for you. I really feel that. But, you know, what is this saying? It's sort of like this idea that, you know, be careful about who's in your life, you know, or what situations are in your life. Remember that, like, you know, you have free will at the end of the day, and like you can make your life whatever you want, right? You can be around whoever you want. So don't be worried about maybe leaving some people behind or some situations or some places that you're living that aren't working for you anymore, right? Just be really open to the idea of moving on with your life, you know, if you're feeling called to do so. You know, if you're use discernment about who you let into your life, you know, it's not like I'm telling you to isolate or anything. I don't want that, you know, like don't go off and be alone if you feel like you need to be around people, right? But what I am saying is like use discernment about who it is you let into your life, you know, because not everybody has your best interest at heart, right? And like that doesn't mean that everyone is out to get you either. I'm definitely not saying that. And that doesn't mean that even the people who don't have your best interest at heart are out to get you. It just means that, like, you know, be careful of who you share your plans with. Be careful of who you share your dreams with, because sometimes people are just going to be so in their own mode of being and thinking and feeling that, you know, they're going to be like, oh, well, you want to do what? Like, you can't do that. Well, you know, just because they don't see it is a possibility, right? They can't even imagine anybody doing that. So of course they're going to say, no, what? No, that's not possible. Like, stop thinking of that. You know what I mean? When in reality, like, it's your life and it's your existence. So you know what's right for you more than anybody else. Never let anybody tell you what you can and can't do. You know what you can do more than anyone. I'm kind of feeling that vibe from this. Let's look at some more cards to get some understanding. With the 1JJ Swiss deck, we've got the 10 of Cups. Okay, yeah, so once you do this kind of thing, right, use this discernment a little bit, let go of some people or some situations or some places that are no longer serving you, that aren't working anymore, so you can embrace this opening, this portal, this doorway that's here for you, right here, right now, and jump through. When you jump through this gateway, you're going to reach ultimate emotional fulfillment, right? This is the fulfillment card. This is like basking in your own loving energy. It's like family, love, joy, happiness, you know, contentment, being the most happy and joyful you can be. So it's like you're being asked to prioritize your own happiness in your own life, you know? Don't put other people's concerns above your own happiness, right? Your own happiness is so important, and the trees are coming in today to tell you that. Oh, my throat. I got a clog in my throat, so maybe you have some throat chakra imbalances as well with this, you know? Make sure you're speaking your truth. Make sure that you are speaking truth to power, you know? Don't let other people railroad you. Don't let other people steamroll you. If you know what you want, and you know how to get there, and you know what's good for you, then that's what you need to be following. And screw what other people have to think, you know? That's what the trees are trying to come in and tell you. Like, you know more about you than you think you do, and that knowledge of you is is what needs to come first, you know, because it's coming from your intuition. It's coming from your heart. It's coming from, you know, this idea that you know what you want more than anybody else. And like, and yeah, you know, you're being asked to trust that intuition. You're being really asked to trust yourself in this situation, and not to, you know, not to let other people pull you down, you know? Don't let other people's crap affect who you are and what you want, or affect your joy and your happiness, you know? Because it's not worth it. It's not worth putting somebody else's, you know, sorrow above your own joy, you know? Like, oh, there's no way that I can be happy because look at how depressed certain people are in the world, you know, that kind of thing. Like, how can I be happy when all of this horrible stuff is happening in the world? You know, like, no, stop that. You know what I mean? Like, your happiness, if you can find happiness in a time of difficulty in the world, that happiness reverberates outside of you. The more that you can be basking in your own happiness and your own joy, that can become infectious and help other people find their own happiness and their own joy, because they'll be like, wow, how is this person so happy when all of this stuff is going on right now? I need to know, you know what I mean? And they'll like kind of figure out, well, what's your secret? Like, how are you so happy right now? And you're like, well, because I'm just doing everything I love. You know what I mean? And it's great. And I'm just not paying attention to all this other stuff. You know what I mean? And then when you get into that, like, that becomes infectious, and that can actually help other people as well. So don't feel like you have to hold yourself back, or you have to hold yourself down, or you have to hold back your voice, simply because horrible things are happening right now in the world. I think maybe that's what this is about, you know, or just in your life in general, right? That, you know, if you feel like, oh, you know, like, I don't know if I can really be so happy right now about what's going on in my life because the people that I live with are going through so many rough things, and I don't want to just like railroad them by my own happiness, you know. No, stop that. You know, your life is important. Your happiness is important. You know, you can be happy. And like, and if the people around you are not cool with you being happy, like if you being happy makes them want to attack you, then that is a big red flag about those people that you're around. Like, seriously, if somebody is like super angry about you being happy, that it's very questionable behavior from their part, right? Like, who are they to do that? Like, that's not cool, you know? Because like, we all have the right to be happy in this life. We all do. And like, you know, be careful about, like I was saying with that discernment card, be careful about who you let in your life, you know? Because like, if somebody's gonna try to bring you down every time you're doing great, like, that is not a person you want to be around. Seriously. Like, that is a person you need very strong boundaries with. And, you know, if this is a family member and you don't want to just like cut some family members out of your life, I understand that. I've been there. I've been in that in a lot of situations, you know? It's like more complicated than just saying, no, bye. Then that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Then what you need to do is you need to practice some strong boundaries with that person instead. So you don't have to totally cut this person out of your life, but you can be more along the lines of, okay, I see when this person is triggering me. I see when this person is not quite meshing with me in the way that's healthy for me. So I'm going to say to them, I'm sorry, but I can't be here right now, you know, or like, you know, like, I'm going to just go into the other room now and not be around them as much, or I'm going to spend a little bit less time in the house, or, you know, whatever it is, you know, for you, you know, definitely have your own space and be your own person, but never let anybody else keep you from being yourself, ever, because that's just going to that's going to block you from getting to where you actually want to be in life. And it's going to always make you feel depressed, because there will be a part of you that's always missing if you're suppressing a part of yourself. And regardless of what other people say, you know, the right people for you and your life and your situation will always love you for who you are. And they will not feel this sense of need to bring you down if you're doing well, you know what I mean? So whoever is in your life who wants to bring you down every time you succeed, that is a person that you do not want as a part of your life. And like I said, if they are family and you don't want to let them go, which is totally legitimate, I've been there myself, then like put up those boundaries. Say, okay, I need a break. You know, you can always take a break from somebody. Always. Always, always, always. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to just take some time for myself and I'm going to put a little bit of distance here and that's okay. And then we'll reconvene later and see how we are. And, you know, if it's still the same, you know, I'm still prioritizing my happiness here because at the end of the day, that's what's going to be most important for you is your own personal happiness. Because when you build a foundation from that, when you build a foundation of self-love and being in your own self-comfort and your own self-happiness, then that can then translate to other people as well. That can help move the world that you're in. And then you move out of these periods of difficulty and of pain and of sorrow. Next up from the classic Rider-Waite Smith deck, you have the Devil. Okay, yeah, so maybe this is you too. This could be internal as well. This could be, you know, habits. This could be your own self-defeating behavior, you know? Maybe you need to put up boundaries between you and yourself, which I know sounds kind of silly sometimes, but it's true, you know? If there are certain habits that you go through, if there are certain patterns that you go through that aren't working, you know, it's time to say goodbye to those. You know, if you have any addictive cycles or any addictive stuff within your life, like that is something that it's time to put some distance between you and that, you know, and you have the power to do that. And if you need to get help for that, you can always go get help. You know, there's always help available if you really are. It's some kind of addiction that's, you know, it doesn't have to be so extreme. It doesn't have to be drugs or anything like that or sex. But it could be, you know, I've been there. I've been in my own addictive cycles and like, it's hard, you know. It was never drugs for me, but it was some other stuff and it was intense and it wasn't working anymore. And I had to put some distance between me and that period of my life. And a lot of that can just be change of environment, change of behavior, change of patterns, move your house around, you know, and then start doing things differently, right? Start going out differently, start, you know, if it's a phone thing, you know, because mine had to do with some stuff on my phone, you know, I just deleted those apps and didn't let myself re-download them, you know, stuff like that. Like you can change your habits, you can change your behaviors, but it's talking about like, you know, if this is a self-sabotaging behavior, which happens as well pretty frequently for a lot of people, you know, it's happened for me a lot. You know, that's the other thing too, is like learning how to recognize that self-sabotaging behavior and then start to put some distance between it, you know? You have the power to do that. And it just takes steps, you know, it takes steps and time. But the more that you are doing it, the more that you're practicing putting some distance between this and this habit or this behavior or this way of thinking, you know, because self-sabotaging behavior oftentimes comes from a way of thinking like, oh, there's no way I can do that. Oh, there's no way I can follow my dreams because who am I to follow my dreams? Like, well, you know what I mean? Like, no, stop it. Anytime you're hearing that kind of thing, you'd be like, you know what? No. How am I different than anyone else, right? How am I different than that person who went off and achieved greatness, right? That they went out and they did what they wanted to do and they achieved it and they felt so proud of themselves for doing the exact thing they had dreamed of doing, right? How am I any different than that? I'm not. You're not any different than that person, ever. And it's just a matter of what you're telling yourself, you know? It's literally the words that you are using in your head for yourself. And sometimes it can be feelings too. Like my own negative self-talk a lot of times had to do with it wasn't in words. It was just it was in absolutes that I just felt were real, you know, that weren't. Where it was just like, oh, well, you know what? Like there's no way that you can go out and do this because you need to have enough money to do that. And you have to have enough equipment and you have to have enough stuff. And I don't have that. So, you know, a part of me for a long time was like, okay, well, how do I get the stuff? How do I get the money? How do I get the thing? And then I can follow my dreams. You know what I mean? When in reality, that was one of the biggest things I had to unlearn was like, no, I'm capable of doing this right here, right now. What do I have with the tools at my disposal right now that I can use to build what I want to build for myself? And then you start to do it. It's in baby steps and you start to build it in small steps. And then you distance yourself from these habits and these situations and, you know, these addictions and whatever it is for you, you start to distance yourself from it. The thing about addictions, if you are in any kind of addictive cycles right now, is like, remember, a lot of times addictive substances or patterns or things that come as distractions. We use these addictions to get away from feeling things that we don't want to feel. We use them to get away from coming face to face with certain inner demons or parts of our shadow self. And so, doing some shadow work might really help you in whatever you're going through. I encourage you can Google shadow work. There's a lot of resources out there. I do have a pick a card devoted to shadow work that might help you. That's been a minute since that. I'd like to do some more shadow work stuff, I think, in the future. But anyway, with this devil card here, with those addictions, remember, they're masking something. They're you trying to get away from something and just come back into a sense of calm. So there's actually one of the best ways that you can overcome any addiction is to start saying, okay, what am I ignoring, right? What is it that I'm ignoring? And I'm going to face that thing head on instead of ignoring it more, because the ignoring of that and following these destructive behaviors are actually going to harm me in the long run. That those are going to be way, way, way worse and hurt way, way, way more than just facing whatever this issue inside me is. And you can start, if you don't know what it is, if you don't know what it is, then you can ask, even the tree spirits here. I know this is about the trees and we kind of went off on a tangent, but the tree spirits are available that you can even ask them. But your guides, your intuition, your higher self, whatever you want to do, however you want to conceive of it, you can ask that part of yourself, like, okay, help show me what it is I'm not allowing myself to see. And then eventually, the more that you ask, the more it's going to start coming to the surface from your subconscious. And then you're going to start seeing, oh, I realize that I'm using this behavior because I'm afraid of being alone, or I'm doing this thing that's really hurting me because I don't want to look at the fact that I'm still depressed over this relationship that ended a few years ago and just devastated me. And I just didn't want to look at it anymore. I just wanted it to be over, but instead of processing it and forgiving myself and letting it all go, I held it inside of myself and then used a bunch of addictive behaviors and patterns and situations to ignore that situation. So yeah, I think you're really being encouraged in this instance if you feel like you have that. If that doesn't resonate as much, then this can just be, any kind of pattern that's self-sabotaging, any kind of situation that's happening in your life that's not working for you anymore. You have the power to overcome that. We have free will to do whatever we want in life. And so you have the free will to liberate yourself from these chains that are binding you to whatever this is. The final card we have from the Shamanic Healing Oracle, I'm going to read directly from the book, so you get somebody else's words in here as well. Unlimited possibilities. Yeah, and look at that tree. The tree's coming in at the end here. We've got this beautiful tree coming in at the end to remind us that this is a reading from the tree spirits themselves, who are here to help in your situation. What do they want to say with this Unlimited Possibilities card? When fall turns to winter, the leaves fall from the trees, birds fly south, plants go dormant. Some even die having lived the life they were meant to. Do we ever panic and wallow in the fear that this is it? There will never be another robin singing. There will never be another ripe tomato. No, we don't. Why is that? We know that after winter, spring will return, followed by the bounty of summer. It is so in your life. At any given time, there are unlimited possibilities for you and yours, many different paths to take, many different options available. Do not get bogged down into thinking in a linear fashion. Open your eyes and your heart and feel the power your free will and choice, like I was saying before, brings you to do. Make your life what it is meant to be. So there you go. You can do whatever you want, pile number 3, and you have the ability to make your dreams happen. You have the ability to live in your own personal sense of fulfillment. It's here for you. It's happy. It's present for you. And you're being encouraged to follow your own happiness. Prioritize your happiness, right? And your own well-being over others and over patterns and situations that aren't working for you. If you've got some self-destructive habits, it's time to overcome those, and you have the power to do that totally and completely. Remember, you can always ask for help if you need help. I've been to counseling myself. Therapists are incredibly helpful in directly attuning to these kinds of things. So if you need help figuring out where this is all coming from, go talk to somebody. There's nothing wrong with that. There's some really great resources available for you as well for that. So if you ever want resources on some therapy situations, I have some, at least for the United States. I don't know about the rest of the world, but if you're in the United States and you want, there's some great therapy resources of therapy that's even affordable too. So you can always ask me in the comments about that if you'd like. If you're in the U.S., I can point you in that direction. But regardless of that, if you don't feel like you want to see a therapist, you could continue to do these kinds of readings with people, including with me. I have private readings available. But yeah, I encourage you to go ask for help if you need it. Like, always ask for help. You know, you can even ask your guides and your angels for help, and they will help direct you to that wisdom as well, which may end up being through an actual therapist or a person. So just be open to that too. You know, sometimes the guides and the angels and the spirits help us through other people. So keep that in mind, you know, that there are other people, there are resources, there are things available to help you through whatever is happening in your life. Anyway, pile number 3, that was my reading for you. If it resonated, please let me know in the comments. I love hearing from all of you either way. If you ever want a private reading with me, like I was saying, I have them available on my website at www.junodrome.com. I've got a couple options on there, so feel free to check that out. Next up, I have a Patreon page that you can help support me more and get some really awesome bonus content. That's available at patreon.com/junodrome. And then finally, I'm really excited to announce that when I reach 500 subscribers, right now I'm in the 360s as of recording this, and it's going quicker and quicker every day, which is wonderful. I'm so excited. So once we reach 500, I'm going to be doing a free drawing on my page. You'll get a free reading with me. If you enter this drawing, whoever wins that drawing will get a free reading. So please subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends. We can all get there a little bit faster. I'm really excited for that. And yeah, pile number 3, I hope you have an incredible day, and I will catch you later. See ya. Hey there, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. This is your reading from Messages from the Tree Spirits. So what do the trees want to tell you today? These messages have been pretty interesting. They've been a little bit, you know, they end up being kind of general messages for you, but they definitely kind of tie into the tree symbolism a bit. And I do feel like, you know, I'm trying to ask directly from the tree spirits themselves some deep messages for you. So they're coming in with their own wisdom, with their own guidance, and then we're mixing it a little bit with the wisdom from my own higher self and my own guides and team, as always, and probably from your team and your guides as well. So we're all in this together, friends, and it's pretty exciting. So you chose to pile with this fun driftwood here. I don't remember if I told it to the opening or not, but I live in the Pacific Northwest, and we have access to some really incredible beaches here along Puget Sound that are some of the most beautiful places in the world that I've ever been to. And on these beaches, there's some really incredible driftwood that I've been collecting a little bit of. And actually, I've been making some rune stones out of them too that eventually I'm going to be selling. So stay tuned for that. I'm not entirely sure. I got to start putting a marketplace up on my website. I do have an Etsy that I haven't really shared around yet, but we'll see the best way forward for that. But anyway, moving forward, we've got from here, I've got a bunch of different cards for you for messages from the tree spirits. First comes from the Fairytale Lenormand. We've got the Child. All right. So the Child to me always kind of talks about reconnecting with your inner child, reconnecting with your own sense of wonder and imagination and beauty for the world. You know, remember how you used to be as a child. You know, remember how you used to see the world when you were a child. The tree spirits are encouraging you to open back up your childlike wonder and imagination with the world. You know, those open possibility. You know, and look at all the trees in the background. You can kind of see them. I don't know if you can see them at this angle, but there's all of these trees with faces here, right? There's so many faces out here to talk to you. So you got a lot of tree friends in here today who want to speak to you, who want to speak to the inner child. Maybe as a child, you used to walk in the forest, or you used to walk in the woods, or you used to walk around trees. And, you know, maybe you had friends with trees, you know, a little bit more when you were younger. And so those trees are saying, hey, we're still here. We're still able to connect with you. It's just you have to open yourself back up to us. So you're being encouraged to do that, to really go out and hang out with the trees. Pretend you were a child again, and imagine, open up your imagination as you walk through the trees, and really imagine being in a mystical, magical place again, because that kind of magic is your personal magic, and it's there for you. It's always there for you. And you're being encouraged to really tune back into that magic, because it's that wonderment, that childlike wonderment, that can help you in this moment. That can help you in your life right here, right now, because it'll help you alleviate any of these anxieties that you might be feeling, any of these pressures to conform to the world around you, any of these feelings that like, oh my God, I just can't deal with adulting right now. You know what I mean? If you're feeling that, then definitely go into the woods, or go into the forest, or go into any kind of trees, go to a park, wherever you are, wherever you're living, there's got to be somewhere with trees. And then, if you're in the desert, like I was saying with some piles, maybe there aren't any trees, then go out into the desert and find a cactus or something. I don't know, whatever desert you're in, if you're in the Sahara, I don't know. Tune in with the sand, because sand dunes have their own magic, So wherever you are in the world, there is some form of nature that you can go out to and be a part of and connect in with. The magic of that nature, that you felt as a child. You're being asked to tune into that. Next up, we have from the Wild Unknown Tarot, we've got the Ace of Wands. Yeah, and that's going to re-spark your own inner imagination, your own inner fire. The Ace of Wands are a new journey, a new beginning, and the Wands are all about your passions, your drives, what lights you up in life, what keeps you going, what fires you into doing something. So maybe you had a dream as a child of what you wanted to do, or who you wanted to be when you grew up. You had this like dream that you had as your childhood wonderment, and you're being asked to reconnect to this dream. And that by going out into the trees and in nature and reconnecting to your own childlike magic, you might remember certain things about your childhood that you were like, oh, I really, really loved this thing. And that's actually a big part of who I am. And actually, that's something I could do, and turn it into a career even, I turn it into a way to make money, or, or just support myself, or do it more, it could be a hobby. Like I could be doing this all the time, and it could so improve my mood and my feelings and my love for myself by doing this hobby, whatever it is. So you're being encouraged to tune back into that, because it's going to help fire you up and bring you back into alignment with your inner self, with your higher self, with the attunement of who you really are and what you really like for you as a being. Next up, we have from the 1JJ Swiss deck, we've got the Seven of Cups, which is talking about choices. So you have different options available to you moving forward with life, right? And so I want you to, the trees want you to be really open to whatever happens, be really open to allowing things into your life, perspectives into your life, people into your life, situations into your life, whatever, newness into your life that could go in any direction. You have open possibility. I'm feeling that. Remember, your life is not as closed as you might think it might be. You're not as stuck doing whatever it is you're doing right now that you think. Remember, at the end of the day, you are living your life. It's your life, and you can do whatever you want with that life. So you have open possibility to do anything. You don't have just one cup. You're not being given just one cup, and this is your cup, and that's all you're going to get in life is this one cup, and so you better be happy with it because that's your cup, That is not the case. You have 7 cups that you can choose from. So you're like, oh, I can choose whichever of these 7 cups I want. I can choose my own happiness. I can choose my own path. I can make whatever I want happen. And that's what's going to help illuminate in your life when you get back into this childhood wonderment, this childhood magic. Because when you're a kid, you have open possibility, right? When you're a child, anything is possible. Literally anything is possible. And it's only the perceptions that come with adulthood, right? It's only the limitations we've been placed on us as we age and we move through life that we assume that we don't have open possibility anymore. But in reality, that childhood open possibility is closer to the truth than where you might be now based on your experience and everything that's happened to you, And obviously I don't want you to your experience is important, right? Our life experiences actually teach us a lot. And so those life experiences have led you to where you are today. And so it's about transforming those experiences into wisdom now. So now that you've been through the situations you've been through, you can use that as wisdom and let go of it being any fear of, oh my God, I can't let this happen again, to I've been through this thing and I know how to live now because I've been through this thing. And because I went through this thing, I know how to avoid that thing in the future, right? And so I don't have to worry about that thing happening anymore because I can recognize it from a mile away now. You know, it's all about that perspective shift. And once you do that, you can be back open to this open possibilities, this unlimited possibilities, this anything can happen for you type of feeling. That wants to come back into your life. And the tree spirits are here to help make that happen. They're here to help open you back up to this open possibility. So they're asking you to go out into the forest and pretend to be a little kid again. You know, imagine you're in a magical land, or imagine you're in, you know, the jungle, or imagine you're in anywhere, you know, whatever you did as a kid, you know, playing those games where you're imagining anything, you know, start doing that again. Really kind of tune in. I know that might sound silly and childish, but do it. Give yourself time to be a kid for a second, you know? And like, and the more that you do that, the more that you enter into that silliness, you know, that like, that openness, that whateverness of being a child, you know, if you can allow yourself. And obviously, when you're embracing your inner child, I'm not asking you to regress to childhood, right? I'm not asking you to ignore your own adult in you. It's actually the opposite. It's like your adult is now playing with your inner child. You know what I mean? Like you're going out together in the woods, and your inner child is going to help you bridge back into your imagination as an adult. So you have your adult perspective now. That's never going to go away. I'm not asking you to remove that from yourself. I'm just saying that you can connect back into your inner child and use that to fuel your creativity moving forward, to fuel your passions and your drives and light you up as a being, as a human being. Next up, we have from the classic Rider-Waite Smith deck, you have the Emperor. Yeah, and once you do that, right, this is that's fun. You know, look at these two cards together. This is what I was just talking about. You have both your inner child and your inner adult together, one human being. And so the Emperor is all about, you know, making things happen, going out and running an empire, right? Running the empire that is your life, you know, being in charge, being in control, making things happen, going out and doing and being the one who allows things to happen in their life and doesn't allow other things to happen in their life, you know? By you uniting that force with your inner child, you're going to awaken some fiery passion within you and open up this idea that you have open possibility, and you're going to find what you really want for yourself. You're going to find what really matters for you in your life, and then you're going to allow that to be your guiding light moving forward, which is so beautiful. So I really encourage you to do that work, you know, connect in with your inner child and you know, reconnect to what makes you happy, reconnect to what you find fun, you know, go out and have a good time, you know, use that childhood sense of joy and bring it into your life. Final card we have from the Shamanic Healing Oracle, it's all good. Yeah, so I'm going to read directly from the book for that, but that's beautiful, you know, everything's great right now. It's all okay, you know, you can connect back into this idea, this infinite possibility. It's all good. All options lead home at the end of the day. Let's see what it's talking about. Every experience you have in your lifetime has the potential to be a teaching tool. So this ties right into exactly what I was talking about of changing your experience into wisdom. This talks exactly about that. By remembering and embracing this idea, the situations you encounter become less fraught with unneeded emotion and drama. By not attaching labels or expectations to people and situations, you allow the pure divine energy to flow unimpeded. While you may have little control over what happens to you at times, you always have control over how you react. Do you react on an impulse? Strike out at others when you feel hurt? Do you crawl into your safe place when the words seem mean and hurtful? Face this challenge in your life head on. Be thankful for the opportunity to experience whatever it is that is happening. Set yourself a goal of learning from every situation in your life. Find that silver lining. It's there. yeah, so there you go, friend. That's your reading. I hope that it resonates. Please let me know in the comments either way what you think. I thought that was a fun one. I loved this tree spirits readings. This was cool. It was the first time I've done this. I like doing that, like I did with the little birdie reading too, is just sort of like doing some different things, trying to connect into some different spirits to give us different perspectives and angles and stuff. So I hope that you liked it. Let me know in the comments either way. I love hearing from you. So thanks for that. If you ever want a more detailed private reading with me, I can get super detailed about you and your life and your situation and what's going on. So please feel free to check out my website at www.junodrome.com. I've got a couple options available on there. I'm launching a Patreon to have you help support me a little bit further and then get some really awesome, incredible bonus content. That's available at patreon.com/junodrome. And then finally, I'm super excited to announce we're a little bit of a ways away, but once this channel reaches 500 subscribers, I'm going to be offering a free private reading from the channel. So you'll be able to enter into a drawing to win a free reading from me when I reach 500 subscribers. So please subscribe to the channel, share with your friends so we can get there a little bit quicker. And yeah, that's going to be a really awesome opportunity. So check that out once that's happening. Anyway, pile number 4, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later. See ya!